Hi guys, this is my first video in a while. I haven't really been doing many ceramics at the moment, and the last time I did a couple of videos on the Cuerda Seca technique. Unfortunately I never got round to doing a video with glazing them. So since I'm in the middle of doing a commission now using the Cuerda Seca technique, I thought I could show you guys how to do the glazing part. Now this video isn't about the glazing, but I wanted to show you how you can use this technique on different things, different items, and not just on tiles. Now there's a couple of things that you've got to bear in mind though when you are using this technique on something that where the glaze could run, or even the wax. So as you can see, this is a plate that I've just started doing this kind of abstract design. Sorry, I think it might be upside down actually. There you go, that might look a little bit better. This is a commission that someone has asked for. There's a plate and there's a few bowls, which are going to be sort of dipping bowls. A couple more. There you go. You might not be able to see that. There you go. So the design's all around the bowls as well, and as I said, it's just the same sort of abstract design. So this time, because it's on a bowl, on the outside of the bowl, I'm not using the wax in a little squeezy bottle, but instead I'm actually using a paintbrush. Now paintbrush, a lot of people actually prefer using paintbrushes. Now the only problem is you've got to remember that with a paintbrush you can't apply it too thin. You still have to apply it reasonably thick, or the glaze will just run over it. So as you can tell, I've started doing this a bit, and you can tell there's no gaps. There's no parts that I've left undone, because obviously the glaze has to stay within that wax. So even on the bottom of the bowl, I've made sure that every bit is closed, so my glaze isn't going to run down. On a plate, as you can see, some areas I have left open because I have a little ridge. So that would be fine also. If you don't have a ridge, then I recommend just sort of closing them areas up as well. So I'll just show you quickly how I do it with a paintbrush. The good thing with a paintbrush is that you can get really, really fine tips and things like that, which sometimes can be a little bit difficult when using either a sort of pipette or a squeezy bottle. Now when you apply the wax, I'm using black wax by the way, when I apply the wax, I make sure that there's no excess on it so it doesn't drip, and I always keep my paintbrush reasonably clean, so every few minutes I'll just squish it a little bit in some water and just dry it on a sponge, just to keep it nice. And so it's just basically so the wax doesn't accumulate and cause like big blobs. So as you can see, I'm just doing this. You actually have to dip your paintbrush in the wax quite often. Now what I recommend is, when you have some larger areas to do, don't do it all in one and then go over it. Try and do sort of, so let's say example, this line is a little bit longer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do half of it, and I know that's going to be nice and thick. Then I'm going to stop before the wax starts running out, and then I'm actually going to continue. Otherwise you tend to get a lot of overlapping and it doesn't actually look so good, and that's actually when you kind of cause, again, a lot of the lumps and the bumps in the wax. Make sure that you can hold your bowl or piece, either from the bottom, from the top. Try not to hold it where the wax is as you go around. So always make sure that, somehow you can hold it without touching it, because it does take a little time to dry. And if it smudges, then you kind of snook it really, because it's very, very hard to get wax off. However, If you smudge a little bit of wax on, or you drip a bit on, or just in a place that you're not, you don't particularly want it, you'll actually have to scrape it off. So don't just wipe it off, because it won't come off unless it's actually fired and burned. But you can get a little knife and actually scrape back the actual clay. So then it's the only way to sort of get rid of that wax. Otherwise you'll have a patch where the glaze won't stick. So I'm going to do a couple of these bits here. So as you can see, I'm trying not to go over it. It doesn't matter if I don't exactly follow the line of the pencil, but I am making sure that all the edges are thick enough so my glaze doesn't run through the corners. Okay, so as I said, yeah, paintbrush can be really, really good to use. Some people just don't particularly like it, and obviously the original way of doing it, of the Cuerda Seca, is done with a little little bottle. But you know, I always believe that there's no rules in ceramics, and everything should be as you want it to be, as you want to do it. So I'm going to stop there. I will be continuing this later. And for now, I think that is it. The next video I will show you how to do a little bit of glazing. So thanks for that, guys. And by the way, I really want to thank everyone for your amazing comments on my last couple of videos. I know that a few people have asked me for more videos, and if and when and in time I manage to sort my life out and get a little bit more time, then I would absolutely love doing more. So yeah, see you later, guys. Have fun. Bye. Oh, before I go, wanted to just tell you which paintbrush works best for me. I actually buy these calligraphy paintbrushes that I generally get from Amazon. They're actually really quite cheap. And if you can see, I'll just put it against a sponge there. It's really, really, really fine. And these are probably the best to use, especially for wax. Now, don't spend, personally, like, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on these, as after you've used them quite a few times, you generally need to chuck them out. The wax just blobs on too much, and it's very difficult to kind of get them really clean. I thought I'll just make sure that I'll tell you that. Okay, bye.